Are the Chicago Bears set to bench quarterback Tyrique Stevenson? That is where we start this episode of Bears Now by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. Report coming in from Dan Wiederer saying that it would not be a surprise, from what he understands, if Tyrique Stevenson does not start Sunday in Arizona. Signs seem to be pointing in that direction. And look, this is probably the right move. This is probably what you need to do. You got to send a message of, hey, we like you as a player. We believe in you. You're a part of our future. But that just can't go on. And if we don't reprimand you, how do we know you're not going to do it again? So, and I think it just sends a message to the locker room too. Like, hey, that behavior, regardless of your status as a player, it's just not going to be tolerated. Now, I'm not saying cut the guy. I'm not saying bench him for a month. Not saying even bench him this entire game. Like, I think if you wanted to bench him for a quarter or a half and wanted to play him in the second half, I'd be perfectly fine with that. In fact, I don't think he should be inactive considering you're beat up in your secondary right now. But if he is benched, Terrell Smith ready to plug in. He got a few snaps last week, and I like Terrell Smith. I think that makes this decision a little easier because he was kind of a fringe starter last year. Remember when Tyrique was struggling early in the year, him and Smith were rotating series a lot. They split reps opposite of Jalen Johnson for a good chunk of last season. He's been dealing with a hip injury but came back last week, fully healthy now. So I don't mind giving him a look either and just seeing how he plays and, you know, have Stevenson active, have him ready to go. And if the plan is to get him back in the game in the second, third quarter or at least have him available if there's an injury, certainly no problem with that. Do think you need to send a message. Don't think you need to shut him down for a month. I think there's a needle to thread here. And I think benching him, at least to start the game, is a proper move for the Chicago Bears. What say you? Should Tyrique Stevenson be benched? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I think he should. Again, I wouldn't do it long term, but I do think he should be benched. Y for yes or N for no. All right, we will continue here with Shane Waldron as he spoke to the media today. Talks about several topics, including starting slow. And yes, he was asked about the Doug Kramer play call. And here is kind of a paraphrase of what he had to say. Jason Leisure broke it all down here, saying that Shane Waldron stands by his decision to hand off to backup offensive lineman Doug Kramer for his first NFL carry at the goal line in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. Says he was confident in the call and would call it again if he got a chance to do it over. It's just so frustrating. There's just no accountability. And then also, you know what else he said? He also said that it was a bad handoff exchange. In other words, blaming it on the execution, blaming it on the rookie quarterback. It's an embarrassing answer from Shane Waldron. I just don't understand why it's so hard to sit up there and just say, you know what? It's a play we practice. It's a play we know can be executed. But hindsight is 20/20, and given that situation and given that Doug has never carried the ball in a game, that was probably a mistake in that situation. We should have called it for the first time in a lower leverage spot. Why is that so hard to say? And it's Thursday now, and I want to move on to this Arizona game, but these goddamn coaches won't let me. They just won't let me. Like, they will not take accountability. And it just is so frustrating that we have to wait until Wednesday for Matt Eberflus to just say it starts with me, which is like hardly anything. He didn't admit to any actual mistakes on specific plays. And then Waldron not only says he was confident in the call, which, look, I'm okay if you believe that call can be executed. You practice it for a reason. Fine, you were confident in it. But it's okay to admit it was the wrong one. Don't say I would have done it again. Really? You would give the ball to Doug Kramer down 5 on the road in the fourth quarter again. That actually scares me because that sounds crazy. You would do that again. Really? That's insane to even say out loud, much less potentially think and do. So I think it's poor leadership. I think it's a lack of awareness, and it's just bad judgment. It really, really is. So it's disappointing to hear. Shane Waldron had 4 days from the game to now until he was required to talk to the media, and he doubled down on that decision. I'm actually kind of surprised someone higher up or Flus or whoever wasn't like, Shane, you know you're going to get asked about this. You probably just need to wear that one. Nope, I would do it again. What? That is embarrassing. That is so embarrassing for him to get up there and say that, and it's beyond embarrassing. It's disappointing for us, fans, media, whoever, to hear him say that. That is shocking. Where are you with this coaching staff right now? Scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you don't like them, you're not confident at all in them, 10 being, oh, they're great. This is just rolling around along perfectly. I don't know, a 4. I mean, they do some things well. The defense is obviously good. The offense, even though it's frustrating as hell at times, I still think it's better than it's been. But, man, it's hard to go much higher than a 3 or 4. It really, really is. All right, more to discuss here in a moment, but shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. Game Time is the place to go this fall. Get off the couch and go to some football games, whether it's the Bears, your favorite college football teams, or any other game. Got hockey, basketball as well. Got the Blackhawks and Bulls in action. And Game Time Picks, their newest feature, it makes it easy to get your tickets. It'll narrow down the ticket fluff and search within a certain event, kind of show price points on the map, and you can kind of figure out within your budget what quality level seat you can get. And then you can see the views from the seats, see if there's any super deals, which is tickets that get discounted sometimes through Game Time. That's why I encourage you guys to be surfing the app frequently, because sometimes you might see an awesome deal if you're on the app at the right time. Download the Game Time app today. Use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase only. Terms do apply there. Code CHATSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. What time is it? It's game time. Download the Game Time app today. All right, let's get to the injury news for the Chicago Bears. And, yesterday you didn't really know what to make of it all because it was a walkthrough. They didn't go through a full practice because the offensive line was so beat up. And today, their first real practice of the week, it actually looks worse than it did yesterday. Tevin Jenkins joins the DNP group along with Kiran Amegadjie and Braxton Jones. Amegadjie for sure out this week. Jones trending to be out. And Jenkins, I'd say, is questionable at best. He was listed as limited yesterday, but we'll get to him in a second. Montez Sweat did not practice. It feels like he's just going to have something all year. He's been beat up all year. It's just going to be a matter of if he can play on Sunday. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker still did not practice. Gordon with the soft tissue, the hamstring. Brisker with the concussion. We'll talk about him in a minute as well. Ryan Bates still limited. His practice window is open this week. Larry Borom full again. I would imagine he's going to get activated to the 53 pretty soon with Bill Murray going on short-term IR. Jenkins, circling back to him, he was listed as limited yesterday. Again, that was more of an estimation of a walkthrough. If he's out, I mean, you already lost Bill Murray, his backup. That means he would be out. Your starting left guard as well. You might be looking at this type of starting offensive line this week if Braxton Jones can't go either, because we know Kiran Amegadjie is out and can't play left tackle. Larry Borom at left tackle, which isn't a disaster, but he hasn't played at all this year. Matt Pryor, I think you'd probably have to slide him from right to left guard in this scenario. Coleman Shelton at center. Nate Davis, who's been a healthy scratch recently and has been connected to trade rumors and essentially out of the Bears' plans. All of a sudden, unless you want to go Kramer at left guard and keep Pryor at right guard, he would re-enter the lineup. And then Darnell Wright at right tackle. Now, the caveat is, can Ryan Bates get activated in time? Can he be ready to go? I think tomorrow will be telling for that. If he's full tomorrow, maybe they activate him as well. We'll have to wait and see. But if not, your interior options at guard are probably going to be Nate Davis, Matt Pryor, Doug Kramer, and that's pretty much it. Like, those are your options. So you're probably going to have to elevate somebody from the practice squad as well. Not looking good on the offensive line heading into a matchup you really can't afford to lose. And this is why winning that game against Washington would have been huge, because, if you win that game and lose this one, it's not the end of the world. Now you got to kind of win this one, and you're more beat up than ever, so not good at all. And this is also very concerning. And quite frankly, beyond just the football stuff, it's been 25 days since Jaquan Brisker suffered a concussion. He is still in the concussion protocol. He self-reported 24 days ago. I'm worried. I'm really worried about this guy. This is a guy who's had at least 3 documented NFL concussions in 3 seasons. He had at least 1, if not multiple, at Penn State. I mean, 25 days, even with the new protocols, like typically you miss the next week, and then you're back after that, right? At most, you'll miss 2 games. Like I think Malik Neighbors missed 2 games earlier. This would be his 3rd missed game and 4th week miss. Because remember, they had a bye week sandwiched in there. Do you expect him to play this week? I don't. Like, he's still DNP. So I'm worried about Brisker, just his health. I'm worried that I don't know when he's going to come back. Is he going to come back? I hope so. I know he loves the game. I know he wants to come back. He's a leader for this team. So it's worrisome for him, most importantly. It's worrisome for the team. Like, I mean, do they pull off that Hail Mary if he's out there? Who knows? Like, that's not like the immediate thought, but it's just not good, man. I'm really concerned about him and his future, and I think we should show him some love here on Bears Now. Get the 9s going in the chat if you want to throw the arrows in there as well for his celebration. Send some love to Jaquan Brisker because I really like this kid, man, and I hope he's able to get back out there sooner rather than later. More than that, I just hope he's okay. I mean, almost a month in the protocol. That's beyond concerning, if you ask me. All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this edition of Chicago Bears Now. We'll see what the Friday injury report looks like overall, but offensive line banged up, Brisker still in the protocol. A lot of things to be concerned about. Bear down.